Well, I will say it's always a sticky situation when you go from a movie into a series. It's usually the situation, one is better than the other. Let's talk about it.
And I'm like, come on through, Cookie. I want to put my soapbox. That's basically it. Let's talk about drag in all its forms. What, Cookie?
Hey guys, thanks so much for clicking on the video. This is my review for She's Gotta Have It. This is season 1, episode 1. Yes, She's Gotta Have It, the Spike Lee joint. She's Gotta Have It. It's been taken into series format. And like I was saying, it's always a touchy situation when you go from a movie and then into a series. One is generally better than the other. The one that comes to mind was the movie Soul Food. Soul Food was an excellent movie, but it was a better series. The series by far, for me, like the movie's one of those things, I probably wouldn't watch the movie again. When the movie, and I know I don't, because when the movie comes on around Thanksgiving time all the time, and I don't watch it. I click right off of it and go on about my business. But when the series, if I ever see the series on, I stop it, I watch however many episodes is playing. The series was phenomenal. It used to be on Showtime, and I remember when it was actually airing, I literally cut Showtime on to my cable and paid for Showtime, and all I watched was Soul Food. That was it. I didn't watch another thing on Showtime but Soul Food. So, and some of the same thing is going on with this. I didn't particularly care for the movie She's Gotta Have It, but I've heard so much buzz, and I've gotten so many requests to go over and look at She's Gotta Have It, and I have Netflix and don't use it. I mean, literally, I've had it for months, and I literally have watched one movie. And I said, oh, what the hell? Let me go check this out. So, this is how I got here. This is where we're at. But the series is kind of cool. It's very much Spike Lee. Everything about it is Spike Lee. The one thing I will say, the music in this series is phenomenal. The music's phenomenal. There's a lot of R&B and jazz being used. And I love that in the scene, when he uses a composition for a scene, he puts the actual, most of the time it's the original album covers or some of the actual album art on the screen, and you get to see what artist it actually is, which is good, because I know a lot of times in my reviews and just on my channel period, I'll be talking and I'll make reference to something and I have to remember everybody's not my age. Everybody didn't go to school with me. I got a lot of people that are younger than me who they can go Google these things and learn what I know and enjoy the things that I have enjoyed, because a lot of this stuff, you know, when you get talking about the beginnings of Mary J. Blige and oh, child, there was so many different things that they just were flashing up there. The Isley Brothers, that was from my childhood. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah. So I'm just glad that all the references are there and that my younger folks can actually go back and see where this stuff started from and all of that. So I think that's a fantastic thing that Spike Lee does. But again, the artwork and the way, the cinematography and all of that is so very Spike Lee. He is Spike Lee. You know his stuff when you see it. Nobody has to tell you. If you didn't know it was Spike Lee doing it, you would know Spike was somewhere around, because the cinematography screams Spike Lee. Screams Spike Lee. But anyway, let's get into this. So it didn't stray too far away from what the storyline is. You got Nola Darling. She is the main character. She is basically some would see her as a slut. Some would see her as a hoe. Some would see her as a freak. Some would see her as a hoochie. Some would see her as a confident woman. Some would see her as an independent woman. Some would see her as a sexually fluid woman. Some would see her as an uninhibited woman. It just depends on you personally and what your walk is and what you've been taught and how you view things. And that's basically what this is about. She is a character, a beautiful girl who actually plays the part, who is just as beautiful as the original Teresa Randall that actually plays. She has that same look. She has the natural hair. She has the light eyes. She's built really cute. All that. Beautiful girl, though. Her whole thing is she does not like being called a freak. She does not like being called a hoochie mama. She does not like being called mamacita. None of that. She don't want anybody telling her she's a sex addict or any of this. But at the same time, she's screwing multiple men. It's like one guy this day, one guy that day, one guy the next day. I mean, this is what she's doing. You know, she's not committed to anyone. But guys do it. Guys do it, and what do you call them? Player. You man. You know, this is what this whole thing attacks. Yeah. It just is what it is. And they actually showed her, and then there was an actual scene in the first episode. It was like a montage of pickup lines and all these different men, different types of men. And some of it was like, ugh, scary, and some of it was kind of creepy. Some of it was funny. You know, it's based right there in Brooklyn, New York. She's in Brooklyn, New York. Well, the first guy, let's talk about Jamie Overstreet. Jamie Overstreet is the corporate guy. He's the stuffy shirt, if you will. Jamie Overstreet has a wife that he still lives and resides with, but they're separated. Okay, so it's all this paperwork kind of thing. Jamie Overstreet would like to maneuver as if Nola is his woman and like he has some control. Though he's been told, that ain't what's going down. We're just kicking it. And it is what it is. But men don't get that. They don't get that. I mean, and I've been in a situation where we start off with this. Okay, you understand you're not going to be, don't ask me where I'm at. Don't ask me where I'm going. I'm where I am. I'm where I'm going to be. Don't ask me nothing. We just hanging out. We cool. I mean, even before there's any sex or anything, men don't do well with that. Straight ones, gay ones, men, period. When they're born with a penis, they don't do that well. They don't. They just don't. It's fine for them, but not for the partner. Just the way it is. And they definitely, when it's a heterosexual situation, they can't handle that from the woman. They can't. Period. Anyway, so we got him. We have Mars Blackman, who is basically, when you first meet Mars, he just comes off like a bum. He's like this around the way guy. He's real goofy. And he threw out a hint like to her, like, oh, the first time she invited him into her place, it's like, oh, well, you living there by yourself? She lives in a brownstone. You living there all by yourself? Yeah, I live there by myself. Oh, you let me move in. That was like his first. I was like, oh, he's a bum. He's a fucking bum. But when you get to know him more, he really isn't. He really isn't a bum. He really likes Nola. And if I had to choose of the men she's messing around with, I would actually choose Mars. He's the one that she actually connects with the most. He's the fun guy. He's fun. He's, is he Latino or Puerto Rican? He has some type of Spanish descent to him. And he looks really goofy all the time. But there's there's a scene they actually had. He and her had a sex scene. And when his hair was down, he looks like a completely different person. When his hair's down, he looks like a completely different person. He actually has sex appeal to him. But when his hair's not down, he just looks like a goofball. You know, but again, he's the fun guy. He makes her smile. He makes her laugh. He's fun. I guess she wards him off, you know. And then we have Greer Childs. I wouldn't be bothered with Greer for 10 minutes. Greer loves Greer, period. He thinks he is the best thing since sliced cheese. He is your classic green-eyed, light-skinned, been told all your life that you're cute. He's a photographer. He is just, I mean, everything is selfies. And he's irritating. He's irritating, but he's very good in bed. But the only thing he loves more than himself, I believe, is his penis. And he's another one that would like to claim ownership. You do what I do, you do what I say, and when I tell you to do it. That kind of thing. That's what he would like to be. He's a clown. He's an absolute clown. He's a clown. Yeah. He thinks that Nola loves him. That's clown. Anyway, then we got Clorinda Bradford, who is basically Nola's best friend. They used to be roommates. Okay? This gets deep. They used to be roommates. She doesn't like even the mention of Mars because she was sleeping with Mars first. And needless to say, all of them are good in bed. Every last one of them. Mars, you know, and it's a different thing. You know, when she's in bed with Jamie, it's a whole love-making session. When she's in with Greer, it's a porn movie being shot and the camera's just actually not there. It's, you know, all this theatrics. When she's with Mars, it's just a straight up freak section. Like he literally had her picked up and standing in the middle of the floor with his tennis shoes on, banging her out, jumping in a circle. He's the fun guy. So you got all that going on. Okay, so we do all that. Like I said, her and Clorinda were their best friends. They were roommates. Clorinda is actually a judgmental old bitch. She really is. Very judgmental, very elitist. They broke up their living arrangement because she couldn't deal with Nola and her sexual prowess. And literally, there was another montage of like, when she gets up at night to go to the bathroom, there's always a different guy in the bathroom. That would drive me crazy too. Would have drove me crazy. Nola, I told y'all, slut. You know, she's a slut. I mean, she can say what she wants and don't want to be categorized. She's a slut. You know, any woman sleeping with anybody, period, sleeping with that many people, you're slutty. It is what it is. I mean, come on. Whatever. Anyway, so that's basically what happened. So the one little scene in here, we're down at Clorinda's house. They're having some drinks and everything, and then they leave. She leaves. She's on her way home. She ends up being basically attacked by this guy. You know, he's, hey, mom, yo, all this. And then he kind of yanked her up, you know, because she just kept walking. She ain't entertaining. She just kept walking. He yanked her up. And he was a little rough because he actually scarred her arm. And she cussed him out, you know, told him, don't put your hands on me, you know, hit him a little bit. And she went to walk off. And he called her a black bitch. You know, fuck you motherfucking black bitch. All that. So Nola is, she's an artist. So she actually had created all this art. And then you see her at the end, she's posted it up. You're like, where is she putting that? You know, you're not allowed to put graffiti up. That's against the law. But she's putting these posters up. And, you know, say, you know, I'm not a freak. I'm not a hoochie mama. I'm not a mamacita. I'm not this. I'm not that. I'm not a sex addict. I'm not that. All of this, she puts all this stuff up. And I said, oh, okay. So that was the last thing you actually saw from that episode. She was really affected by what had actually happened. And it was making her get in touch with the way the world sees her. So this was her thing. She's posted up all these posters. That was the end of the first episode. And I said, okay, I think I could rock with this a little bit. I think I could kind of watch this and see where this goes. It gives me, like I said, very Spike Lee, but it also gives me a vibe of Sex and the City. And I loved Sex and the City. So it does. It gives me a vibe of Sex and the City. I think the content is a little better. I've always viewed the movie She's Gotta Have It as basically just, it was like a cheesy softcore porn is how I actually viewed it when the actual movie came out. I don't get that from the series. This series is definitely better than the movie. I think there's more thought. It's probably a sign of the times as well. It's probably a sign of the times because it's been a long time since that series, since that movie actually came out. So that was it. That was it for season 1, episode 1 of She's Gotta Have It. All right, guys, tell me what you all think. Leave it in the comments. Later.